Let me say this. It's not that hard to keep your client pipeline full. It's not that hard to keep your client pipeline. But Roy, I want to have a full client pipeline, and it's hard. It's hard for me to do. There's actually just one thing that if you do it consistently and you have an offer that clients actually want, that part's important, you'll pretty much always have clients. And guess what? I'm going to share it with you today for free. And the question is, are you going to do it? These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, before we dive in, today's sponsor, as always, is me. Check out the link in the description to the Launch Your Client Business free mini course. The Launch Your Client Business free mini course. If you have not gone through this yet, what are you waiting for? It's not just about launching your business. It could be about relaunching your business and laying the foundation for an even more successful client business. The link is in the description. You'll probably hear more about it throughout this episode, but just check it out. If you haven't done it yet, go do it right now. All right, so I'm going to tell you what this one thing is. I'll tell it to you at the end of this episode. We are going to get there. We are going to build up to this one thing that you need to be doing. I don't want you to skip ahead, because then you're going to just, it's all going to go over your head. It's all going to be worthless. You're going to be like, oh, I know that one thing, but you haven't laid the foundation. You haven't laid the groundwork. You haven't done the stuff that's going to make this one thing successful. So let's start here. Let's start with a little exercise. Grab a pen and paper. You can pause this episode to go grab it, whatever you need to do, grab a pen and paper. And I'm going to want you to take 5 minutes. And you could pause this, you could start a timer, whatever. You can pause, but take 5 minutes to write down all the things that you can do to connect and start conversations with prospective clients. 5 minutes. Write down all the things you can do to connect and start conversations with prospective clients. Aim for about 10. It doesn't have to be exactly 10. More is actually better if it gives you some variety. But some examples here are that you could share an interesting article. You could take notes on a valuable piece of content and share it with them. You could find a way to meet them in person. That you could suggest. You could write a note of appreciation for something that you see that they've done. You could share a helpful idea without expectation of anything in return. You could share industry or market trend data. You could ask for their favorite charity and make a donation in their name. You could offer to help them brainstorm a solution to a challenge that's relevant to what you do. You could ask to interview or feature them. I like that last one a lot, to ask them, hey, can I feature you for a podcast, or can I feature you in a book that I'm working on? Can I feature whatever it is, right? Go get a article writing gig at some publication and offer to feature them in an article, right? Just sit down, spend 5 minutes, just do it. Just do it. Okay. I'm pausing here because most people are not gonna sit down, and they're not gonna spend the 5 minutes doing this. And it is the foundation, it's the groundwork that is going to allow you to do the one thing that's going to keep your client pipeline full nonstop. Okay. So that's the first thing. That's the first part of this little groundwork foundation that we're laying, right? Now, if you haven't done this other thing yet, you might want to do it now. This is something that I talk about in the Launch Your Client Business free mini course. It's something that is pretty much every client business should go through this process. It's the Dream 100 exercise. And basically what this is you need to define the who of your perfect clients. And I'm talking, be specific with the companies that you want to work with the people that you want to work with. Be specific about that. Define who those perfect ideal clients are for you. And for the purpose of this, you might want to, push it into a little bit bigger list, but it doesn't have to necessarily be 100 individual contacts. It could be less than that. My initial Dream 100 list was actually only a couple dozen. But what you need to do is you need to basically sit down and you say, who are all my potential ideal clients? And this is a broad definition, right? So it could be all the companies in a specific industry, or the top 100 companies in a specific industry, or the top 100 companies that meet a specific criteria. And then you might want to get more specific. So for example, when I started financial copywriting, my big list was everybody who was a financial publisher. But then I got more specific by narrowing it down to the types of clients or to the specific companies that were using the type of marketing that I wanted to help with, which was long form direct response sales letters. And so somebody could be a financial publisher, but not be using long form direct response financial sales letters. And so at that point, like, they were taken off my list, right? But basically what you're looking to come up with is a short list of potential clients. Probably no more than 100, but it could be less than 100. So you have at this point a list of things that you can do to just connect with and start conversations with potential prospects. And you have a list of potential prospects who you have defined as your ideal clients. Now we're getting closer to that one thing. We're circling around it. We're getting there. You need to put 30 minutes on your calendar. Start with every day for the next week. And this is going to be 30 minutes dedicated to starting conversations with those prospects. So what you should expect to do in the course of those 30 minutes is maybe 1 to 3 tasks per 30-minute session daily. 1 to 3 tasks. So let's assume 2 tasks on average every day. Every workday, we're not even going to do weekends or anything like that. So let's assume 2 tasks, 5 days a week, and 50 weeks a year. Take 2 weeks off. So we have 50 weeks by 5 days by 2 tasks. That's 500 connections and conversation initiations per year. And it can be with the same people. Maybe not every week, but it can be with the same people every month, 2 months, 3 months, right? And 500 connections and conversations started per year. Now, think about that. How hard is it going to be for you to have a client pipeline that's full if you have targeted your ideal clients? And among those ideal clients, you are starting 500 conversations per year. It's not going to be that hard to keep your pipeline full. 30 minutes a day, an average of 2 tasks per day, and you've started 500 connections and conversations per year. So, revealed, this one thing will keep your client pipeline full. Make daily time for prospecting. That's starting conversations with prospective clients. You're not even making offers. Don't even push to make offers. Just connect and start conversations. Notice that if we go back to my initial list of, some ideas, some examples, none of it said offer my services to client. It was things like, hey, share a helpful idea without the expectation of anything in return. So for example, people ask me how I got Brian Kurtz as a client, and I eventually worked with him on the Titans of Direct Response. One of the things that I did while he was working at Boardroom, I got a piece of Boardroom direct mail, and I wrote a list of bullets that could go on the back of the envelope based on the content in the envelope, based on the marketing piece in the envelope. And I said, hey, Brian, I noticed that you're not using the real estate on the back of this envelope, but on the front of the envelope, there's plenty of copies, so people are clearly knowing this is an advertisement when it shows up. What if you use these bullets? What if you tested these bullets on the outside of the envelope? And I don't know if he ever tested them or not, but I did get a very positive response from him. And it was just one more thing that I could do to add value. One of many things. There are multiple things on that list that I did to add value to Brian long before he became a client. It ended up with the most, public win of my copywriting career. I've had bigger wins, but one of the most publicly well-known promotions that I ever wrote was for the Titans of direct response, at least within our industry. And it just came from this. So if you're struggling to keep your pipeline full, it's probably because you're not doing anything, actually. It's probably because you are wanting. Maybe you're visualizing, maybe you're trying to manifest a full pipeline of clients coming to you, but you're not doing anything. You're not doing 2 tasks a day within 30 minutes to start conversations with potential prospects. And if you do that, like if you change this, you start doing this over the course of the next year, you're going to have 500 conversations initiated, maybe not reciprocated, but initiated with prospective clients. And you will fill your pipeline. You're going to create a wait list for your services. It will probably allow you to increase your fees because of the demand for your services and your time outpacing your supply. And it's going to lead to more success. So the question is, will you do it? Odds are the answer to that question is no, but I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong and actually go out and implement this. And then tell me how much of a genius I am by making you look like a genius because, hey, you did the work that was required to succeed. And if you want more guidance on how to implement all of this, how to create that offer that clients want to buy, all of that, it's in the Launch Your Client Business free mini course. Check the link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like this video, like this episode, subscribe. Here you can check more links in the description for other opportunities to subscribe and engage in every way you can to keep the show going and growing. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Every day in every episode, I'm here trying to help you look like more of a marketing genius. And sometimes it's these simple things. 2 little tasks a day within 30 minutes a day. That's 500 tasks a year. 500 conversations started, filling your pipeline and making you look like a freaking genius. I'll catch you again in the next episode. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.